Oh, he said that because he's light skinned. You know, if it was dark skinned, you know, XYZ would happen. Again, that's a myth. When you live in a system of racism, white supremacy, you either classified as black or non-black. All right. These suspected white supremacists, these suspected race soldiers, they see you as either black or non-black. It's just that simple. So the whole mulatto thing, octoroon, interracial, whatever the case may be, okay, it doesn't apply in the system of racism, white supremacy. All right, family, you already know what it is. Chauncey, aka you Karima, great man of God media, with another GMOG Media TV spotlight. All right, so the topic I want to talk about today, family, is the light skin myth. All right, so I'm gonna break it down in this video. Before I start on my commentary, once again, if you're new, my name is Chauncey, aka you Karima, great man of God media. On this channel, I talk about counter racism. I also talk about issues that affect black people collectively as a group, and I offer my suggestions on how to replace this broken system of injustice, this broken system of racism, white supremacy, with a system of justice. So if you're new and you subscribe to that ideology, subscribe to this channel. If you don't, just click off. It's just that simple. All right, so topic I want to talk about is the light skin myth, right? And as you can see, I'm a light skinned brother, right? 36 years old, light skin, and we have this, it seems like to me, and obviously if you read between the lines of what's going on, right, with today's social injustices, that light-skinned black people have some kind of superpowers, that we are oblivious to white supremacy, etc., right? And I'm gonna break it down to the fact that that's not true. Okay, I'm gonna break it down, right? You know, for instance, you got guys like Colin Kaepernick, right? He's a light-skinned brother. Now, you consider him mulatto, right? You know, has a white mother, black father, interracial marriage, etc., and he's the only guy in the NFL. He was a trailblazer, you know, by not standing up for the so-called national anthem. It took a light-skinned brother to do it. Oh, we're, you know, and this is where the light skin versus dark skin argument comes into play, right? Which is a myth. But it took a light skinned brother to do it, right? You know, and it's the fight and it is the willpower of what he's trying to accomplish. He's trying to make you guys aware of the social injustices of black and brown people in this country and wants to see change. He's not going to stand up for the so-called national anthem until we see change. He even said it himself. America's never been great. Let's make America great right now by making sure that these social injustices are replaced with the system of justice, right? You got guys like Jesse Williams who did the you know, famous speech at the BET Awards talking about racism, white supremacy in this country. Oh, he said that because he's light skinned. You know, if it was dark skinned, you know, XYZ would happen. Again, that's a myth. When you live in a system of racism, white supremacy, you either classified as black or non-black. All right. These suspected white supremacists, these suspected race soldiers, they see you as either black or non-black. It's just that simple. So the whole mulatto thing, octoroon, interracial, whatever the case may be, okay, it doesn't apply in the system of racism, white supremacy. The thing about it is, family, guys like Colin Kaepernick, Jesse Williams, even Barack Obama, right? You know, our black president. I wouldn't say ours, the black president, right? Who also comes from a mixed background. These guys are byproducts of racism, white supremacy. As some of you guys may know, that there were Jim Crow laws in place, anti-miscegenation laws, to ensure that black people could not marry, have sex with white people. White people had to be pure, right? White people created the one-drop rule, where if you were considered 1/8 of a Negro, you are a Negro. That's the one job rule that the dominant white society created. So, you know, guys like Colin Kaepernick, Barack Obama, Jesse Wood, and just to name a few, right? And there's much more, but just to name a few. These guys are byproducts of anti-miscegenation laws, okay, that were created by the dominant white society. That's what they are, all right? So they're black. They're black, okay? I don't care what you want to call them, mulatto, whatever the case may be. They are black. So when you make up this fantasy saying that light-skinned people have some sort of superpowers, that they escape white supremacy, and that, you know, we get off easier than darker-skinned people, that's not true. Again, that's a myth, all right? Suspected race soldiers, suspected white supremacists, they see us as black folk. No matter how much melanin you have in your skin, no matter how light your skin is, no matter how dark your skin is, all right? Whatever the case may be, you're either classified as black or non-black. Romanticizing about light-skinned people having an easier time, you know, against the social ills of this country, etc., etc. It's always been a over ostracized myth. You can go back to antebellum slavery. The quote-unquote house Negroes would be light-skinned, right? The light-skinned Negroes. These are byproducts of the slave masters having sex with their slaves, and they would create mulatto kids, and they will be light-skinned, okay? They'll be considered house Negroes, right? They were still slaves. See, the problem is, family, is that when you live under a system of white supremacy, and that you feel as though because you have lighter skin, you feel privileged, you feel like there's some kind of mysticism about you where you are reduced to the social ills of whiteism, of racism, white supremacy, right? And again, that's not true. Antebellum slavery, you had house Negroes that were light-skinned, they were still Negroes, they were still slaves. No matter what kind of so-called position you have. Go back to my video where I talk about prisoners of war, okay? When you're fighting under a system of racism, white supremacy, the system, the infrastructure is still dominated and controlled and owned by the dominant white society, all right? So you fighting under a system and trying to go up the ranks, right, into a system, into an infrastructure that's owned and controlled by the dominant white society means absolutely nothing. For instance, like Google, for instance, right? You're watching me on YouTube, which is owned by Google. And so you got black folks that are so, you know, mystified, and so they feel empowered when they have so many subscribers and viewers on their channel, right? When at the end of the day, that only goes into Google's bottom line. The more viewers you have, that's better off for Google. Okay, Google owns and controls the infrastructure. So when you are happy that you have 1 million views or 1 million subscribers or whatever the case may be, and you have a black YouTube channel, right? All of a sudden, I'm using this as a hypothetical. Let's just say someone releases a video, talks about white supremacy, gets a lot of views, right? All of a sudden, the suspected white supremacist trolls, they get mad, they start thumbing down the videos, right? And one of the trolls, they actually send a video out to get it removed, to get it removed for violation, for whatever the case may be. Google, who owns and controls the infrastructure, they are the ones to decide whether or not you violated their laws of the Google YouTube terms of service. They're the ones that decide whether or not your video abides by their rules or not. So they can delete your video or give you a warning because they own and control the infrastructure. Same thing with the dominant white society. They own and control the infrastructure. They make up the rules. They decide your fate. Okay? So when you live under a system of racism, white supremacy, no matter what your skin tone is, whether you're light skin or dark skin, you still fall under the trap of racism, white supremacy, in which they control and own the rules, and they see how you will be treated in their system. All right? It's just that simple. All right? So I don't want to hear, I'm just trying to put this whole myth to bed. light-skinned people do not have a better time or don't have some kind of mystified power to reduce the social ills of the dominant white society, racism, white supremacy in this country. It's not true. We get shot and killed just like quote-unquote dark-skinned people, okay? We get pulled over just like quote-unquote dark-skinned people. We're still classified as black at the end of the day. Just that simple. All right, family? So I wanted to keep this short and sweet. That's what I wanted to talk about. Make sure you leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. All right, family? Also, critical thinking, family. When you watch videos, don't go for what I say. Do your research, all right? Because everything I talk about is backed up by empirical data. So do your own research and come to your own conclusions. Don't jump to conclusions based off a video title. Like the video I did with Dr. Umar Johnson. It was the last video that I recorded of Dr. Umar Johnson. Somehow people are upset that I said it's the last video that I recorded of him because my hard drive crashed, right? That's called lack of critical thinking. When you go by a title and you don't watch the video and find out why it's titled that way, that's called lack of critical thinking, lack of simple logic. So use those tools to understand what's going on. All right. Again, don't take what I say as face value. Do your own research and come up with your own conclusions. But again, let me know what you guys think down below about the light skin myth. All right. And leave a comment down below. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. All that good stuff, family. Once again, Chauncey, aka you Karima, Great Man of God Media, signing out. Peace.